One of the biggest mistakes people make before getting a cat is thinking the first thing they need to do is buy stuff. Buy litter, buy a litter box, buy food, buy a bed, buy toys, buy everything that looks like love. But then the cat comes home and nothing goes the way they imagined. The cat hides. The cat does not eat right away. The cat is not affectionate. The cat uses the bathroom in the wrong place. The cat stays alert and cautious. The cat does not look anything like the cute, cuddly, easy pet they had pictured in their mind. And this is what many people fail to realize. Before getting a cat, the first thing you should prepare is not supplies. It is the way you understand cats. Because if you go into cat ownership with the wrong expectations, you can accidentally damage your cat's sense of safety from the very first days. But if you prepare this one thing first, a lot of the problems that come later will become much easier to handle. In this video, we are going to talk about the single most important thing you should do before getting a cat, and why it can shape almost your entire relationship with that cat going forward. 1. The first thing you need to prepare is the right mindset about cats. Many people raise cats based on human expectations. They think cats will show affection like dogs, that they will quickly become attached, that they will enjoy being held a lot, that they will adapt fast as long as they are well fed and loved enough. But cats do not work that way. Cats are highly sensitive to their environment, they value control, and they need to feel safe before they open up. What that means is, a new cat that does not bond with you right away is not being cold, it is protecting itself. A cat hiding under the bed is not rejecting you, it just needs space to figure out if this place is safe. A cat that does not like being held does not mean it cannot love you. It simply expresses affection in a different language. If you do not understand this before getting a cat, you will keep feeling disappointed. And worse, you might start forcing the cat in ways you do not even realize. If this point resonates with you, comment 1, because sometimes the very first thing you need to learn before getting a cat is to let go of the wrong idea of how a cat should love you. 2. Before getting a cat, learn to see your home from a cat's point of view. When humans walk into a home, they notice things like clean, beautiful, bright, organized, and spacious. But when a cat walks into that same home, it is judging something completely different. Is there anywhere to hide? Is there a quiet corner? Are there sudden loud noises? Are there too many unfamiliar smells? Is there any place where I feel totally exposed? A lot of people prepare their home for a cat based on their own sense of two aesthetics, but forget to prepare it around the cat's need for safety. A home that feels too empty, too noisy, with too few hiding spots, too many hands reaching in, or too many changes all at once, can make a cat feel stressed from the very beginning. So before getting a cat, ask yourself this: if I were a small animal brought into a completely unfamiliar place, what would I need to feel less afraid? The answer is usually not complicated. A covered hiding spot, a quiet area, a clear place for food and water, a separate litter box area, a high place to observe from, a daily routine that feels predictable. Cats do not need your home to be perfect, but they do need your home to make sense as a safe place. 3. What you need to prepare before getting a cat is patience, not just excitement. A lot of people truly love cats, but they love them with impatience. The moment they bring a cat home, they want to hold it, take pictures, pet it, show it to everyone in the house, help it adjust quickly, make the cat understand that it is loved. But here is the problem. Cats do not read love at your speed. They read it at their own pace of safety. Some cats need a few hours. Some need a few days. Some need a few weeks before they truly relax. If you are not mentally prepared for that, you can easily fall into a very dangerous mistake. You start interpreting the cat's slow trust as rejection, and from there you become impatient. You try more ways to get closer. You start doing too much, when in reality what the cat may need most is simply someone who does not rush it. Living with a cat is not just about affection. It is about accepting that trust does not come instantly. 4. Before getting a cat, do not just ask, do I like cats? Ask, can I actually live with a cat's instincts? This is a question very few people ask themselves. Because liking cats is one thing, living with a cat is something else entirely. Can you handle cat hair everywhere? Can you handle small changes to your daily routine? Can you commit to cleaning the litter box regularly? Can you accept that a cat may scratch things if the environment is not set up properly? Can you learn to read signals instead of reacting emotionally? A lot of people think getting a cat just means bringing a cute little animal into the house. But in reality, living with a cat means accepting life alongside a different nervous system, different instincts, and a different way of communicating. And if you are not mentally prepared for that difference, you may love cats very emotionally at first, but feel drained later on. What a cat needs is not someone who loves it only when the feeling is strong. It needs someone stable enough to understand it for the long run. 5. One of the most important things to prepare before getting a cat is your budget for the things nobody likes to think about. This is the least emotional part, but it is also the part that saves a lot of human-cat relationships. Because before getting a cat, everyone imagines the cute moments. But very few people truly sit down and think about vet visits, vaccinations, spaying or neutering, digestive issues, fungal infections, parasites, small accidents at home, or those moments when your cat stops eating and needs to be checked. A lot of people do not prepare for this part in advance, and when something happens, they panic, feel overwhelmed, and start seeing the cat as a burden. The truth is, having a cat is not just emotional. It is a long-term financial responsibility, not to scare you, but to help you enter cat ownership with a more mature mindset. Real love is not only about petting and cuddling, it is also about being prepared for the hard days too. 6. Before getting a cat, you should get everyone in the house on the same page. This is something people underestimate all the time. One person wants the cat to sleep in the bed. Another does not like fur. One person picks the cat up every time they see it. Another keeps feeding it human food. One person is always shutting doors. Another plays loud music all the time. You may love cats deeply, but if the home is not consistent, the cat ends up living inside a confusing set of mixed rules, and that creates stress. Today, it is allowed on the table. Tomorrow, it gets yelled at. One moment, it is being petted. The next, it is being pushed away. One person speaks gently. Another keeps startling it. Before getting a cat, have a clear conversation with everyone in the house. What will the cat be allowed to do? What will not be allowed? Who will handle feeding? Who will clean the litter box? Who will take the cat to the vet if needed? What kind of interaction is okay and what is not? A lot of people try to learn how to understand cats, but forget that what cats need just as much is a home that feels consistent. 7. One of the smartest things to prepare before getting a cat is a transition zone for the first day. A very common mistake is bringing a cat home and immediately letting it roam the entire house, or surrounding it with too many people right away. Humans think that means giving the cat freedom to explore, but for many cats that is overwhelming. On the first day, a cat does not need the whole house. It needs a small space it can actually understand. A quiet room, a sheltered corner, a litter box, a water bowl, a hiding spot, a blanket with a stable familiar scent, a space small enough that it does not drown in too much stimulation. That is what helps a cat build its first sense of control. And once it feels some control, confidence can start to grow. A lot of adjustment problems in the first few days do not happen because the cat is difficult. They happen because humans give too much too soon. If this point feels true to you, comment too. Because sometimes loving a cat the right way, from the very beginning, means dialing back a little of the human excitement. 8. Before getting a cat, prepare yourself to notice the smallest signals. Cats rarely communicate loudly at the beginning. They speak quietly. A flick of the tail, a slight turn of the ears, a glance that looks away, a body that suddenly stiffens, a gentle pull away from your hand, spending more time hiding than usual, a small change in eating or litter habits. If you only wait until something becomes obvious, you may already have missed the easiest stage to handle it. Caring for a cat well does not start with doing big things. It starts with noticing the smallest differences. Because cats live through subtle signals, the earlier you understand them, the less you will have to fix later. 9. And above all, the most important thing to understand before getting a cat is this. You do not own a cat. You are taking responsibility for a living world different from your own. This is probably the deepest point of all. A lot of people go into cat ownership thinking I feed it, I care for it, I raise it so it should be affectionate, well-behaved and fit what I want. But a cat is not an emotional object meant to fill an empty space in a human life. It is an individual with boundaries, instincts, needs, fears, and its own very distinct way of loving. When you live with a cat, expecting to be loved back in the exact way you want, you will almost always end up disappointed. But when you live with a cat from the mindset of, I am learning how to be kind and respectful toward a living being that is different from me, everything begins to change. You stop forcing so much. You stop taking things so personally. You stop feeling offended so easily. And you begin to understand that every time your cat chooses to come closer, every time it sleeps peacefully in your home, every time it eats well, uses the litter box, comfortably relaxes or plays, Those are all signs that trust is being built little by little, and that trust does not come from loving a cat intensely for one day. It comes from understanding that cat well enough over many days in a row. 10. In the end, before getting a cat, prepare yourself first. If this entire video had to be reduced to one sentence, it would probably be this. Before getting a cat, do not focus on preparing everything for the cat first. Prepare the way you are going to enter its life. Preparing your home matters. Getting the right supplies matters. Learning basic cat care matters. But even deeper than that, prepare the right perspective, a patient pace, a consistent environment, a long-term sense of responsibility, and real respect for a cat's true nature. Because what determines whether a cat will feel happy in your home is often not the things you buy. It is whether that cat feels free to be itself in that home. If a cat can slowly begin to relax, eat in peace, sleep deeply, step out from hiding, play, and look at you without tensing up, that is not random. That is the result of an environment where from the very beginning, someone prepared with understanding, not just emotion. And maybe that is the most beautiful part of getting a cat. It is not just that you bring a cat into your home. It is that you learn how to become a place safe enough for a cat to want to live with. If this point resonates with you, comment 3.